You're listening to Beauty and Beyond Playbook. I'm your host, Mitsy Hernandez. Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty and Beyond Playbook, where we dive into everything beauty pros need to grow thriving and joyful businesses. Today we're going to talk about something a lot of us face during the holiday season, which is the season that you see most beauty professionals be the busiest, and that is feeling like we're not as busy as we should be. It can feel frustrating, maybe even a little bit scary, especially when we're scrolling through social media and seeing everyone else fully booked and seeing how people at the beginning of November are already booked all the way to January. But let me tell you something, this is not the time to panic and shut ourselves and be mean and hard on ourselves. In fact, it's actually a chance to turn things around and set ourselves up for more than just a busy holiday season, because business is about a lasting momentum for year-round clientele. I'll be sharing practical tips on how you can start using that right now so that you can boost your bookings, keep more clients coming back. Plus, I'll share some mindset shifts that can help you handle the slower season if you're dealing with a slower holiday season, so that you can do that with confidence and grace. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, let's get to the good stuff. What can you actually do if your books aren't as full as you'd like for them to be, or as you're telling yourself that you should be? Number one, obviously Black Friday is this week, so it's going to be a little bit hard for you to grab something really quick, but I would say create some holiday promotions. Create something for like Christmas and New Year's. Create something for January and February. Create something that is going to help you, especially on those slower seasons in January and February. Start to get those books filled up. And even though you might be saying, Mitzi, it's November, trust me, you're gonna want to do that so that come January and February, if you were not busy November and December, you don't feel that hit. Because for a lot of people, November and December are super duper busy, and then you get to January and February and it gets super slow. Start planning for January and February more than you are for right now. Something that you can do is create some kind of incentive, right? You can do something that is going to be the theme of next year, whether that's keeping up their self-care, whether that's keeping themselves together during those dark months in winter when there's really nothing to look forward to. Make sure that you do something around that type of marketing, and then insert some promos, something like a free brow wax, or they get a free tint if they do a lamination, or they get a free mitt if they book 2 Brazilian waxes back to back, something like that. Watch how your money slowly goes up from that. And then in January and February, you're going to set yourself up for success. All right. Number 2, make sure that you're reaching out to clients. Reach out to someone that hasn't came in a while. This is crazy. This is how you're going to have people come back. If someone interacts with your story or your post and they used to be a client but they're not anymore, just reach out. Just say hello, just ask how they're doing. Sometimes by simply reaching out and checking in on them, it reminds them, oh, that's right, I do want to book with her. Tip number 3, make sure that you are leveraging your social media. And what that means is, if you're seeing that someone that has never booked with you, or clients that booked with you and never came back are interacting with you, slide in their DM, talk to them. You do not have to say, hey girl, when are you coming back? Hey girl, you need to book an appointment. Hey girl, I have a deal. No, just literally interact with them. Be something that is on their mind all the time. Send out text messages. If you know that someone is going to have a hard holiday, reach out and just say, hey, I hope everything's going well during this holiday time. If you know that someone is super busy and jam-packed during the holiday, reach out and say, I hope you find some time to take care of yourself during the holiday, just thinking of you. Anything like that. Make sure that your social media, your text message, any point of contact that's going to be with clients is at the forefront of your brain. You have to actually be at the forefront of their brain. And the only way to do that is for you to actually post all the time on social media. And by the way, when I say all the time, I don't mean all day, every day. I just mean strategically posting more than once or twice a week. That is not enough for people to remember and have you at top of mind. Tip number 4. Partner with other beauty professionals. This is a tip that I don't think I've talked about and some people don't ever talk about, but partner with someone who does something adjacent to you and you like their clientele. That is the biggest one. Make sure that you like their clientele. If you don't like their clientele, in what world would it make sense to partner with them? Partner with someone that you like their clientele and would like their clientele to be yours. Something as simple as you telling them, I'll send you people if you send me people. You creating some kind of deal, not a freaking giveaway. I don't know how many times I have to say this. People think if I do giveaways, people will come in. That's not how that works. Please don't do a giveaway unless you truly, truly don't need the client. Do it to serve your community back, not necessarily to grow your clientele. And then tip number 5, make sure that you focus heavily on how to retain those clients. I talk about this all the time in the trust journey. Once a client walks through the door, that client should be your client for life. That client should become a cult-like clientele because you're going to be the cult leader. You are going to entice this client into wanting to come back. The fastest and easiest way for you to have a booked out beauty business is by making sure that the clients that walk in through the door stay. How do you make them stay? By using the trust journey, making sure that all through their journey, which is when they first come across you online or in person or through a referral, when they meet you in person inside of your studio, and then when they leave, that all of those 3 touch points, you are acquiring their trust. You are making the experience one of a kind so that they are craving the experience more than they are craving the service that they're going to you for. Because if they're craving the service that they're going to you for, then of course they're going to be able to switch up service providers. But if they're craving you and your experience, then they're going to keep coming back and they're more prone to try different services, which in turn creates more money. If you want to learn more about that, go listen to the podcast episode I have about creating a cult-like clientele, what a cult-like clientele is. And that is going to talk a lot about that. So those are 5 tips that I have for you on how to help the slow season. But now let's talk about the actual mindset shifts, because that's where it's going to be big and that's what's going to help you set yourself up for success in 2025. The first mindset shift that I want you to really have is to trust the season that your business is currently in. All businesses have seasons. Life has seasons. The world, like Mother Earth, has seasons. The moon has seasons. Everything moves in seasons. In some seasons, you're really, really busy. In some seasons, you're a little bit quieter. That's just normal for an entrepreneur. But I want you to normalize that and trust it. And when I say normalize it, I don't mean be okay with how slow your business is. What I'm saying is accept that every single business has different seasons. Sometimes I am busier than I can handle, and sometimes I'm slower than I'd like. But it's normal. It's completely normal. Do not let yourself feel discouraged and instead view this as a season for preparation and growth. This is how you can really go in and look at your services. This is where you can practice different services. You can practice being really good at content. You can create a workbook. You can create an ebook. You can create a course. You can decide to pick up a different hobby. There's so much opportunity in a season where you're slower that you are naturally not going to be able to indulge in when you are busier. Shift number 2, focus on what you can control. There is going to be a lot of stuff in this world that you cannot control, but what you can control is yourself, how you're showing up for your business, how you're talking about your business, how you're talking about yourself, how you're talking about your skill sets. All you can do is focus on what you can control. You cannot control if a client leaves and doesn't come back. You cannot control if the economy isn't great. All of those things you just simply cannot control. So you learn to live and move within those uncontrollable variables, okay? Ask yourself, am I marketing myself well? Do I need to learn certain skills so that I can market myself better? Ask yourself, how am I nurturing my current clients? Is there another way I can show up for them to make sure that they don't leave? Also, how am I showing up in person when I'm networking and online? In what ways can I leverage that in a better way? Shift your focus from feeling like everything is out of control and there's nothing you can do to, okay, what can I control and how can I use the things that I can control to grow my business for 2025? Shift number 3, view the slow times as a gift. They are opportunities for you to do a lot of the back end, especially with Black Friday coming up. This is where you're going to focus on inventory. Do I need to stock up on something? Again, you can try a new service. You can try new hobbies. You can sleep. You can read. You can journal. Sometimes our slow seasons comes with so many gifts. I remember there was a time when I was so slow. I cannot remember what year it was, but right around the time my car was breaking down, and that allowed me to not be stressed and worried about how I was going to get to work because I was slow. I could put all my clients in like 2-3 days and not worry about the fact that my car was constantly breaking down. So view it as an opportunity for you to handle different business, whatever that business may be. It may not always have something to do with the business. It may have to do with your personal life. Shift number 4, stop comparing yourself to others. Yes, on social media, you're seeing people say they're booked. Yes, on social media, you're seeing people live lives that you wish you had. Yes, on social media, you're seeing all these things, but understand that what we share on social media is usually our highlight reel. We're only putting our best moments forward. We're not putting ourselves crying. We're not putting ourselves freaking out over money. We're not putting our credit score up there. We're not putting how much credit card debt we have. We're not putting every little mistake. We're not putting every single time a client doesn't come back or leaves us a bad review or cusses us out. We are only showing the best parts of our life. So it is very important for you to learn to put your blinders on and remember, I'm walking my path and my path only. This is the only path that I can walk. I cannot walk with someone. I cannot walk behind someone. I must walk my own path. And the only way that you're gonna stop feeling like you should be busier or you did something wrong or you aren't doing something right is by not comparing yourself and where your business and your mindset is to where someone else's is. It's just always going to be different because you're on your own unique path. And then shift number 5. Have so much gratitude for what you currently have. Again, this is going to go to viewing the slow times as opportunities, to trusting the season that your business is in. Trust, opportunities, and gratitude or appreciativeness, all of that go hand in hand. It is so important that we are not thirsting for new clients and wanting new clients while neglecting and negating the current clients that we have. So if we're not treating our current clients with the utmost respect, with the best experience possible, and we're too busy looking around being like, oh, I wish that this person would come in, or I wish that I made more money, or I wish that I was fully booked up. It's not going to happen simply because we are not being grateful and actually taking the time to create the best experience for our current clients. I'll never forget this thing that happened to me. In 2019, I threw this Christmas party And even though I invited like 25 people, I want to say like 20 said they would come and only 8 showed up. And I remember it was late at night. I think the party started like at 7 and it might have been like 10:30. I looked around and I said while I was standing in front of my friend, I can't believe that so many people didn't show up. I'm so upset. And she looked at me and she said, "What's the issue? We're here now." And in that moment, I realized how much I was being ungrateful for her presence. I was focused on the people that didn't come and focused on being ungrateful and focused on being unhappy that all the people that I invited didn't come, instead of focusing on the few that did come and having the best time with them and showing love and grace with them. And that completely changed the way that I saw anything where I want to compare or complain and say like, oh, this didn't happen. It's about having so much gratitude for what did happen. So if you're not as busy as you like to be this holiday season, I hope that this episode reminded you of 2 things. First and foremost, you have the power to take action and make changes right now so that in 2025, you have the best year for your beauty business, whether it's reaching out to clients, creating promotions, checking in on your social media and how you can show up better. Every single thing counts. And second, the slower season doesn't define you as an entrepreneur. That is part of the process. It's an opportunity to trust. It's an opportunity to invest in yourself. And it's an opportunity to set your business up for long-term success. Remember that the most successful beauty professionals aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who learn, adapt, and keep going. You've got this. You can do this. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with another beauty pro who you think needs this encouragement today. And if you are more interested in radical self-trust and how to create a business that thrives in any season, make sure that you stay tuned for my program, The Trust Journey, because I'm putting the finishing touches on it. Thank you so much for listening and spending time with me today. Until next time, stay confident, stay inspired, and you keep building a beauty business that you love. You will hear from me in the next episode.